Hi and welcome back to another video on the Austin Metro. I've now got delivery of 10 litres of thinners, got some more paint mixing cups, and I've got some more high build primer. So what I'm going to be doing in this video, and I don't know if I'm going to finish it today, it'll probably go into maybe tomorrow, possibly even the day after. I'm going to get this petrol filler flap finished off, so I'll get that flatted back off on the filler so I can get it ready for high build primer. Build primer back on it again so I can recoat the roof and I can recoat the edges all the way around. I'm going to redo all of that. I'm not going to bother with the bonnet and the tailgate yet. I want to get this bit ready and then hopefully I'll get this flatted back. Alright, so let me show you where I've got up to now. So I've got another coat of primer on. Hopefully you saw some of that going on the time lapse. I've been over it with the DA with 400 grit and then I went over it with 600 grit. A few little swirl marks in it and there's a couple of little imperfections still within the primer, so I'll just give it a guide coat just around the swage lines. So what I'm going to do now is crack on giving it a wet sand with 600s, then I'll probably leave it overnight, have a look how many cut throughs I've got. I've primed the fuel filler flap, had a couple of little pinholes in and little imperfection on the back there, so I've put some 1K stop filler on that, some finishing filler, wait for that to go off, I'll flat that back and then I'll probably give it a high build because I had a little area, hopefully you can see up there, that just needs touching in. The gutters, just a little bit, I mean I could do that with aerosol, but I'll probably just put a bit of high build back on it and just again around these cut throughs, but I'll see how bad it is. It might be that I can just give it a strip of aerosol on them little places, but we'll see how it goes. I've just cut into the time lapse, so you saw the guide coat there. Most people obviously know what I've done here, but I did get asked a question as to what the guide coat's for. So as I was rubbing through it, you saw a couple of little spots, and then here there were some scratches within the surface. There's a tiny little one still there. I don't know if you can make that out. So I still need to flat that down a little bit. This is where I just threw on that extra paint last time. So obviously there were a couple of little imperfections here. So whether I'll high build this area again and give it another flat, or whether I just give it a thin aerosol and then an 800 grit afterwards, I've not decided yet. I'll have a look how much high build I need to do, but it's not going to be a massive issue for me to feather out this area here and possibly around, depending on what the state of the arch is. It's not going to be a massive issue for me to high build that section and then maybe the roof. Right, so when we're doing this, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So it's probably behind the rubber, but you can see the two little scratches there. So what I need to do is keep rubbing through them until the black goes. And then if I need to reprime the area, we need to reprime the area. But as it turns out, tiny little bit of rubbing there, I'll wipe it off. It's gone. So I'll carry on doing these little bits here, but that's basically what I'm doing. In fact, there's a tiny little dot still, because the chances are them tiny scratches that just showed then would show through the paint. Right, if you're still with me, you will have seen me rubbing down the rear quarter panel, doing the guide coat with wet and dry 600 grade. I'll zoom you in and show you how it's ended up. So all the top section is absolutely spot on. This is just where I've been wiping it with a paper towel. All the swage lines are all rubbed down all the way around, the arches. Don't forget, this is only 600, I've not gone to 800. And then this bit where we had some slight problems, it's completely flush now, but as you can see, there's a fair bit that's rubbed back down. So this just shows what the condition was like from the factory, and why I could see, when I gave this a bit of a guide with the red a couple of videos ago, why I could see a small amount of rippling I wasn't too happy with. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to finish off doing the rest of the car, rubbing it all back. I am going to end up, this section here, I'm going to high build all the way. So probably like that, feather it up. In fact, I might just go just over, round the arch, and maybe just flash a bit in the bottom. I'll show you how the very bottom corner's turned out. There's a tiny little imperfection there, which is just a low spot, but the extra coat of high build will sort that. Nothing anywhere else. That line will look absolutely perfect, I think, once it's painted. I've gone on the inside of the flap, just give it a rub down so you can see where the low spots are, where the primer still is, and then it feels smooth, but I'll just get it that little bit better with another coat of high build. Then what I'll be doing is just 800 gritting this with wet and dry once it's done. So I will give it another high build, I will do another guide coat, and I will 800 grit it, and I'll be doing the same thing over the entire car. On the roof, as I mentioned earlier, we have got this patch here, and that again I'm going to high build. The back, this is where on the other video I had the issue. So if you look down there, all primer, there's no scratches, nothing left in. So when that is painted, if it'll focus, that should be alright as well. Right, I think that's probably enough for another video. It's probably going to end up being maybe 9 or 10 minutes long, because I've put a couple of time lapses in there. Hopefully nobody minds them in. It just shows a little bit more to work. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you've made it to the end and you did enjoy it. Don't forget to like it if you did like the video, and I do try and answer every single comment, so if you do comment, share, and I'll see you on the next one.